Hey, welcome back. I'm Sean Barr, and at Looking Point, we help IT organizations make decisions around collaboration, security, and networking. Today, we're talking about the Desk Hub. I'm going to be bringing in my man, Marshall, to talk all about it. Too soon. Let's go! All right, we're back, and I'm here with Marshall Hill, Solution Architect, who's going to take us through the Desk Hub. Marshall, thank you for being here. What do we got?
Yeah, so this is a new device from Cisco, and it is a smart docking station, but it's much more. It can be your video endpoint. It can be for hoteling or shared workspaces. It runs all of the Webex software, so you can actually join a Webex meeting without even having your computer or other devices. You can just walk up to the device and either join a scheduled meeting or ad hoc join. But what I really like about it as well is you can log into this simply by placing your cell phone on this little cradle that will charge your cell phone and auto log you in. And so it's a great feature, convenient feature for getting access. This can also become your phone. So there's some other components to it. They give you a little cradle if you wanted to snap this into the back here. Take the cover off, put the little cradle here, and this will actually charge a Cisco headset. And so you can bring your own headset if you would like, as well as this has microphone, speakers, and so yeah, so it's kind of an all-in-one unit where they've merged the features of a traditional kind of docking station, but in with all the full features of Webex, and so you can have a Webex meeting, and also become your soft phone or your actual physical phone just by having it take your persona when you auto log in.
So real quick, docking station.
Yep.
You mentioned also the ability. It's almost like an endpoint, a video endpoint as well.
You are kind of creating, so Cisco has a lot of different products, and what you're creating with this feels very similar to like, a Webex Mini or something like that. And really to kind of round this out, Cisco has this desk camera, and this I think you've shown on another video. And so this can actually connect directly into the Desk Hub, which is great. So this then, everything connects to the hub, so you don't have to actually plug this into your laptop, unplug it, and kind of, constantly do that. And this is why you can actually have a video meeting without even plugging your laptop in. And if you wanted this to authenticate as you and be your phone, you can log into it, auto log in just from proximity of your cell phone as an example, or your laptop, but and then this becomes a full functioning video device, and then you still get, this is a screen, we'll light this up later, and you can hit the simple one button to push and hit the join button, and then this whole thing lights up and becomes a video unit as well.
Oh, interesting. So really this starts to bridge that hot desking kind of environment, right? Is if I bring in my laptop, I'm assuming this will work as a docking station. It'll pass through my microphone and the USB pass-through and all those things. Plus, if I don't have my laptop, I can use it as an endpoint.
That's right, and hot desking is a great word. There's actually a configuration. You can set this as a personal device, you can set it as a shared device, and you can also configure it for hot desking. And so in office spaces, very modern office spaces that have a whole bunch of open space, trying to maximize, facilities and, people working from home and coming into the office, when they come into the office, rather than having a generic space that they have to bring everything in their laptop bag and work off their little computer, they can have one of these devices and simply go to any desk. They can reserve the device ahead of time so that it will say it's available or reserved. So you can do that while you're at home. You can make sure you get a space in the office. This will show. It will also show on the big screen that this has been reserved. So anyone else walking by, they know that these spaces have been reserved. So it's a great way to ensure that when you get on the road, you're driving 30 minutes to the office, that you have a space available for you.
That's great. Well, great. I mean, I guess we could talk a little bit about the Desk Hub, and we'll get some other shots of it. But essentially, it's got this tilt screen, and then it's got what you would expect on the back of a docking station, just a bunch of ports there. I mean, that's really it, right?
Yeah, and we'll show this a little later, but they've actually color-coded the cables so that, In some cases, you may be rolling this out to many locations, and you want to keep it as simple as possible for the people setting this up and plugging this into a monitor or your laptop. And so everything's been color-coded. We'll show that in more detail.
All right, well, I think it's probably time we set it up and give it a run through.
Let's do it.
All right, we're back, and we've got the Desk Hub set up, and we're ready to get going on a couple demos. So, Marshall, why don't you take us through what we had to do on the Desk Hub and,
Yeah, it's actually quite simple. We plugged in the power, of course. We have an option to plug in an Ethernet cable. That's normally the case. We went for this demo going wireless. We plug in a share cable. This would be like a USB, C cable that can be passed through to your laptop. We also plugged in a monitor cable. And again, this is USB-C on this end. The other end can be, an HDMI display port or USB-C. That's optional. And then we plugged in this USB-A cable that goes to the Webex Desk camera in this case, and so it's going to the USB camera. And so that's really it. And then you have a power button, and off you go, and this thing is ready to go.
So now we've got it, essentially you registered it to the Webex Hub, right? Or Webex
I
Control
did.
Hub, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so registering,
got a lot of hubs.
That's right. So registering this is like registering any Cisco device. You go into the Webex Control Hub, you go into workspaces, you register a name for that workspace and add a device. You'll get a QR code. On this Touch 10, it will be sitting there to please type in the QR code, and you type that in. So that's no different than a Webex Mini, to the Webex Pro devices.
Now, one thing I noticed you said a Touch 10. This isn't a Touch 10, but it makes you feel like it's a Touch 10.
It does, yeah. So it's very similar to that process. So
right.
on a Webex Navigator or the other model, the Touch 10, this has that same look and feel in terms of the onboarding. And so very, very easy, very predictable. If someone's done any of the other Cisco devices, and onboarding is the exact same.
So it's like uniform. If you've been in a Control Hub, you get it.
Yep.
Cool. So now it's registered and it's ready to go. Like, how, if you wanted to use it as a hot desk, how would you go about making it yours or getting into it?
Yeah, so the simple way to do that is to actually, if you
I'll slide
have
out the way for you.
Yeah, no worries. If you have the Webex app on your phone as an example, you can use that to log in. So rather than putting a username and password, so you can just walk up to this device and you can just tap your phone, and then you will be prompted to connect. And as soon as you connect, I'll swing it back, it'll actually be logging in as me.
Great. Okay.
Once it's logged in as me, then any meeting that I was invited to, it will show up on here. And, first thing we need to do, let me swing this if you can see it, but we need to set how long am I going to be here. And this will be very useful in terms of auto logging out. And so I have some control. I have some control over the time that I want to reserve this space. So I'm just going to reserve it for 1 hour. And so I've set it to 1 hour. I click on reserve. And so now this will be logged in as me for 1 hour. If I walk away, if you reserve this for 8 hours, which is nice, if you go to lunch, you come back, you don't have to keep logging into it, right? It's going to be good for 8 hours. However, after that 8 hours, it will auto log out, so you don't have to remember to do that. But you can also manually log out. You can click up here and just manually log out if you wanted to log out. So you have a lot of controls. You also can log out from your app. So if you've set it for 8 hours, you've left 4 hours later, and you forgot to log out and you would like to log out so that device isn't logged in as you can also go into your app and log the device out. So a lot of control.
So one thing I noticed here is you've got a meeting, and it's almost looks like, if I walked into a room and the room was booked. I think that's what you're referring to, is that if somebody invited you, this device now becomes yours, and it shows your next meeting.
That's right. So it's the person who scheduled the meeting. If it was myself or I was invited to a meeting, they don't have to know the location that I'm at. They just invited me. And so since I logged in to this device as me, then it's going to display any calendared invites that I have and any meetings that I have. And with Cisco's one button to push, it'll have a big green join button. I don't have to have my computer. I just walked up to it. If I haven't gotten my laptop opened yet, or I didn't bring it for whatever reason, I just have my cell phone. I easily logged in, it has the nice big green join button, and I can actually join this meeting. And I think for this one, since this is a demo, I've invited you, so I don't know if you want to give it a try.
You want me to leave, and I'll go join, and I'll meet you virtually.
Definitely. As Sean's getting set up, I can actually join this meeting, so I'm going to hit the big green button to join. And the screen's going to change. We have the video camera. This is what the far end will see. I'll open up the camera, and I will bring it so Sean can actually see me as an example, since that screen's going that way. But in here, you have all of the normal controls. You have the mute, you have the share screen, and so you have all the normal, video controls that you would expect, as well as when Sean joins in, he will show up on the video as well, and we'll be in a meeting.
Hello, Marshall. How are you?
Awesome. So thanks for joining, Sean. And as you can see, Sean's on the video screen. And as mentioned, we have the controls for mute and sharing and, whatnot. But yeah, no, thanks for joining, Sean. And it's as simple as that. No computer. This becomes a Webex video endpoint. It's now registered under my account. So it's, any meetings I was joined to or scheduled, it's there. I can also use this as my phone. It has my soft phone or my phone number tied to this device now, and so it is now my collaboration device while I'm, visiting this, hot desk's location. And then when I walk away, it auto logs out or I log it out.
Hey Marshall, one thing that I noticed is the audio quality sounds really great. Where is the mic at for this this call?
Yeah, so right now the mic is actually on the Desk Hub. So if, there is a mic on the desk camera, the Cisco Webex Desk camera, but in this case we're using the mic on the Desk Hub. We're using the speaker on the Desk Hub. So you could use other, audio devices such as on a monitor or little speakers, but you don't need to, right? The point of this device is it's an all-in-one device for that collaboration. So it simplifies your setup. So if you buy just a generic monitor, it doesn't need speakers, and then you connect that to, say, the Cisco Webex camera, or the desk camera, I should say, or even any USB camera for that matter, everything is provided by the Desk Hub. You have the microphone and the speaker.
Great. All right, well, this seems to work really well, and your video quality looks actually really, really good as well. I think it probably is better than mine, so that's amazing.
Awesome. No, it's definitely, it works really well. I think this will be a big hit, especially for those hoteling and hot desking locations. I mean, it's pretty plug and play, and you get the full real-time collaboration experience. You get the easy login from a user wanting to make this their device while they're, at that location. And then also it is a hub, like a docking station, so you can plug your laptop into it and extend your monitor and just use it in that respect as well.
Great. Well, I'll come join you back in the studio, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
See ya.
So can hang up, and this will go back. I'll end the meeting for everyone, so very similar to WebEx. And then we're back to the home screen, and it's still logged in as me, and it has my name, my face. If I go in here, it has my information, my phone, as well as it gives a code if I wanted to do wireless screen sharing as well. So a lot of capabilities built directly into this device.
Hey, all right, so we got done with the video. So I think essentially we covered registering the unit, we covered plugging it in, we covered joining and making it yours through the Webex app. Outside of that, it's a docking station. Anything else?
Yeah, that really covers it. A pretty simple device and plug and play, easy to use.
Great. Well, if we said anything in this video and you're like, hey, I want to know more about that, make sure you leave a comment, make sure you like and subscribe so you get all of our content as we release it, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
See you later. Let's go.